Hey folks, KILT-MAN here, KILT-MAN at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, my birthday is coming up very soon. It's in... Hang on, we're on Thursday now. Friday, Saturday. It's on Sunday, so it's 3 days away. And my birthday. And not just my birthday, oh no, as if I could have one day of celebrations to myself. No, it's also Mrs. KILT-MAN's birthday. Yes, my wife's birthday on the same day. I know, you guys have heard this, regular viewers know all this stuff, but it's funny how many people who've known me and Mrs. KILT-MAN for donkey's years, and every year we always go, oh, it's birthday's coming up, and they go, you've got a birthday on the same day? And you're like, yeah, how long have you known us? How many times have you sent 2 cards, one for each of us? You know, how many times? Anyway, it's our joint birthday. Now, it's come early because I am looking right now, you can't see them, but I'll show you. There are 3 big boxes of mystery gifts. 3, count them, 3. We have this, which arrived today, right? This, and this came from our good friend over in Ireland, Ronnie. So I'm going to be opening that at some point soon. I can't open them all in one video, I can't, you know what it's like. We have, this is a biggie. I mean, Ronnie's a new kid on the block when it comes to sending stuff to the Kilt Mansion. But Astrodyne, a traveller in time, Astrodyne, your friend and mine, he sends great big crates of stuff, often. And this time he sent what amounts to a suitcase. Have a look at this, have a look at this. Oh my God. Look at that. Very conveniently, there's actually a handle on this one. And I'm not going to open that one just yet either, because typically for Astrodyne there'll be lots and lots of things in there, lots of goodies, so it's going to take a while to go through them all. So, but anyway, that'll be later on as well. But no, you know him, you love him. It's Steve 007 Smith, Super Channel contributor for donkey's years. I've used that phrase twice now. Hate repeating myself. And he has sent, well, typically, something movie canvas-like. Now, again, regular viewers will know the drill with this. Now, I'm going to open this one right now. This one here. Regular viewers, as I say, know what the score is, because this has been going on for, oh God, donkey's years. Oh God, how many more times? How many? And what he does, he creates imagery from movies, whether they movie posters or just imagery from movies, and makes wonderful canvas artworks on a wooden frame. Beautiful. The walls of Kilt Mansion are bedecked. You can see them in the background there. There's a Rambo one just there, but there's Jaws, there's the Thing, there's another Thing over there, there's Halloween stuff over there, there's a skip, there's loads. They're everywhere. They're on every wall. And it's just going on and on and on, and I love it. Of course I love it. Now what he does, to play a little bit of a guessing game, he will send me messages, little clues, little cluesies as to what might lurk within these boxes. And again, as I say, regular viewers will know that I pretty much 95% of the time get them right, even from the most obscure and cryptic of clues. And it's not because I've got any psychic abilities, and it's not because I cheat. You can't get into these things anyway. But what it is, we're on the same wavelength, we're the same sort of age, we're in the same movies, and some of the clues, some of them have been a bit too obvious, some have not been. But even when I don't get it right, invariably, and it's only been a handful of times when I've mistaken it, I've actually said in the, it could be this, or this, but I'm going to go with this. But you'll find that even in those times, I've actually come up with what it really is in the first few tantalising ideas that I've had. Now, the clues for this one are, well, they're not up to much really, I'll be honest. It is an 80s horror classic. Yes. And I think the only other thing he said was that I've covered it a lot on the channel. Right, okay. Well, 80s horror classics. You know I love these movies, but I cover movies from the 30s, the 20s even. The dawn of cinema I've covered movies from. And every era, every decade, every period, I've covered numerous movies from. But the 80s really is one of those halcyon times for me, and for Steve, and for many of you guys as well. The dawn of real good, proper prosthetic effects and animatronics, gore aplenty, video nasties, oh yeah. A time rife with chaos and abandonment, and the gore the merrier. Now, film-wise, that I've covered on the channel a lot. Well, I just scribbled down a few ideas here. The Thing. I probably haven't covered any movie as much as I've covered The Thing. You're hearing the music now. Elmer Bernstein's enigmatic, mysterious and very slight score for An American Werewolf in London. The Howling, I've discussed. You'll notice there's a bit of a fairy sort of style running through these. A fairy theme. Wolfen, one of my favourite films of all time. These are all my favourite films of all time, by the way, but Wolfen, I've gone on about that a lot. And then you get The Evil Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween 3. These are all films I've discussed a lot. There are many others, but these are ones I've spoken about a hell of a lot on the channel. Now, The Thing, he has sent me numerous poster artwork and canvases from The Thing. Evil Dead, there's one just down the hall from that. Nightmare on Elm Street, there isn't anything from. Halloween 3, there isn't anything from that he's sent to me. American Werewolf, he has sent American Werewolf stuff. Slaughtered Lamb, beer mats, which are knocking around here. Well, there's some in the bar in the front room anyway. But also in the front room is a wonderfully fantastic piece of, it's like a throw, like a cover for a settee. And it's of the big Kessler wolf. And at the bottom, you've got our two boys heading off into the environs of East Proctor to encounter the Slaughtered Lamb pub. And it's beautiful. It hangs on the inside of the curtains in our front room, which is the bar room, of course. And we've got the dartboard behind the bar. Ah, it's great. Note to self, should have filmed in there, shouldn't I really? The Howling, I've banged on about The Howling a hell of a lot, but he hasn't sent anything to do with The Howling. I'm kind of thinking that this in here is going to be something from a film that he hasn't sent something from before, so I don't think it's The Thing. Which, immediately, you'd all go, KILT-MAN, it's going to be The Thing. Of course it's The Thing, it's obvious. How can he be so stupid? Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, I talk about a lot. I don't think it's Evil Dead because, as I say, there is a canvas from that. Nightmare on Elm Street, now there's a definite contender. I have talked about it a lot and I do love the movie. It's one of the few films that actually put me in a state of shock when I first saw it. And I saw it opening night and it blew me away. I had no idea really what to expect from that movie and it absolutely put me in a state of shock. As my friends at the time who went, saw it with me and we got the bus back from the cinema and they were going, come on. I was known as Mad Mac in those days. Mad Mac, come on, what do you think? Because I was the big film guru. Nothing's changed. And I'm still in a state of shock now. And I just couldn't speak. I could not speak. It had blown me away. And I grew up watching movies like Suspiria in the cinema when I was way underage. The Hills of Eyes, way underage. The Exorcist, everything underage. And, you know, and Zombie Fletchers, and survived all that. But it was literally like when Elm Street, which had a profound effect upon me. And Halloween 3, I've banged on about that a lot because I think it's it's a great horror movie, it's a great Halloween film, and you know, everyone, the haters gotta hate, you know, it hasn't got Michael Myers in it. Oh, yeah, it wasn't meant to have Michael Myers in it. The masks, Tom Atkins, the music, everything about that movie, the cinematography from Dean Cundy, it looks incredible. I love Halloween 3. Do I think that's Halloween 3? I didn't, and suddenly I'm thinking it might be. No, I think it's something fairy. I do. I could be off the mark completely here. There's other films like Life Force I've gone on about a lot. Another 80s classic. There's probably like Poltergeist. There's loads. But he did say that it's something that I've covered extensively on the channel. So that really comes down to The Thing, American Werewolf, The Howling, Wolfen, Evil, well, all those ones actually. That didn't really help me out at all, did it? Anyway, I will say that someone, somewhere down the line, has damaged the box. The box is actually very damaged. Not from me. I haven't been kicking it around or anything like that, or trying to prise my way in there. Let's see what I can see, because it wouldn't matter, because these things are always sealed in cellophane and they're against the cardboard backing. You can't, until I actually what's the word? Slice through the cellophane and raise the artwork up, the canvas up. You can't see what the hell it is until you've taken it away from its backing piece, and it's sitting, it's artwork against the backing piece, so you can't see it anyway. But someone somewhere down the line has obviously, another one of these things for KILT-MAN, and they've slung it across the assembly line, and someone's gone and put their fingers straight through like that. Is that a clue? Freddy Krueger? Finger gloves went through? No, of course it isn't. Claws? Werewolves? I don't know. I'm playing American Werewolf in London, as you can hear. I'm about to drink some whiskey. We finally got some whiskey back in the house. Jesus. Feels like such a long time since I last imbibed any of this stuff in the house. I've been drinking it in the pub all last night. I was meant to unbox these last night. Oops. Cheers, Steve. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Astrodyne. Cheers, Ronnie. I will come back for those boxes and do them in separate videos, because, you know, that's the law. So, right, we're going to get into this now. And I now have to pick one of these. For me, it's between American Werewolf, The Howling and Wolfen. Steve knows how much all these movies mean to me. He has done something from American Werewolf already. So is it The Howling? Is it Wolfen? It's one of these three. I'm sure it is. God. My trusty ski and do at the ready. I will now endeavour to cut my way into this. Look at this flap here. Oh God. And then, no, I've got to come up with one of these, haven't I? Oh dear God. I'm going with American Werewolf, The Howling, Wolfen, Evil Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street. Ah, Jesus. But you know what? I'm gonna go with The Howling. So let's put The Howling music on. I know. I really do think I'm gonna be completely wrong on this one. And where is it? The Howling. Pino Donaggio's fabulous atmospheric score. Folks, I think I'm off the mark, but what the hell. Right. Right, okay. Oh, it's smaller. It's smaller than usual. Oh, sorry, just remembered, Steve said it's not like a normal movie canvas. This is not a clue, he just said this is more like a piece of cinematic artwork from an 80s iconic horror movie. So there we go. Right, now look, folks, it's sealed into this. So I'm now gonna slice this that. Oh, Jesus, it's gonna be something completely different. It's gonna be Reanimator or Day of the Dead. I have talked about Day of the Dead a lot. Return of the Living Dead. Okay. Either way, folks, it's going to be great. Because they always are. Now I'm going to lift this up and you guys are going to see it before I do. I can't guarantee it's going to be the right way up. It could be upside down. I genuinely don't know. I'm not going to look. You guys are going to see it before me. I'm going with the howling. Well, oh my God. Sweet Jesus. Oh yeah. In case you're in any doubt, it's not the howling. And look at the awesome font and the colour as well, which was on some of the original posters and the old VHS and Betamax cassette covers. Oh God, oh, that is fucking unbelievable. Oh, and he's here as well. I mean, there it is. Forgot to mention, didn't I? I've actually got the big Kessler wolf right here, right now. Like, he knew all along. Let's get back on that. Oh, I was just playing there. In fact, let's get on to Metamorphosis. This is the unused track that Elmer Bernstein composed for the transformation sequence where David, played by David Norton, turns into the werewolf in nurse Alex Price's apartment, her flat, Jenny Agutter. Look at that! Jesus Christ, look at that! It's it. Oh, see, I thought it was there as well, almost. God almighty, that is amazing. Folks, seriously, look at that. Look at that. And you know where that's going, don't you? Right above our bed, on the bedroom ceiling. That's going to be up there. I'll be slapping Mrs. KILT-MAN. Like, get off me, get off me. And above me will be me wolf. And beside me will be the husky dog. Oh, by the way, probably any second now, that husky's going to come back in after a huge long walk. And it's going to come bounding in over all this cardboard here. And devour the chicken I put in its bowl there. So it'll be back. But look at the colours on that. Steve, mate, that is sensational. I kid you not. That is, I've got a vest. Oh, actually, Steve sent me a vest with the American Werewolf logo on it. No, the big snarling wolf, a sort of highly surreal, stylized version of the wolf snarling right at you. But I've actually got a t-shirt with this on the back, Beware the Moon. And I've got other posters and imagery of this shocking sequence of his face stretching out. But nothing that compares to that. That is truly, truly astonishing. Oh my God. I mean, you can see the agony on the face, because the transformation is painful. Unlike in The Howling, I know I've banged on about the differences many times. And as I've always said, I do prefer the werewolves standing upright. I prefer my lycanthropes to be on two legs, you know, tall and really fucking frightening. But there's no denouncing the fact, no taking away from the terror and the ferocity of this bastard. But in that sequence, in a brightly lit, you know, modern day apartment living room, a naked man becomes a huge hairy monstrosity, a hound from hell, and then goes on a rampage on all fours. But he's muscle bound and he's shaggy and he's fucking crazy looking bastard. And that captures the pivotal moment during that transformation. I mean, I've said before that there's a couple of shots in that transformation which I really wish weren't there. And you know what they are? When David Norton is in the suit, but he's actually lying under the floor, and the fake body is attached to him. So it's his real arms, his real chest and shoulders, and his real head all covered in fur. But he has these big rubbery legs, and his nasty bits His fairy Fido is covered in grey matted fur, so you can't really see his lipstick, his canine lipstick. And but he's got these big rubbery legs which are just bouncing up and down. And then in a ludicrous shot, which I don't know why John Landis did it, he then turns around to look at us through the camera, but really he's looking at the Mickey Mouse doll which is stood on the side, just sort of like just his hands up, just smiling, Mickey Mouse. You know, I'm all innocent. Look at me. And he's going like that, and he's gaining terribly at the camera. And I just think, oh God, everything else is 100% perfection, and then you go and ruin it with a couple of shots like that, the rubbery legs, and then like that gaining face with the Jackson's afro that he's wearing at that time. But then, taking a piss, are you? Well, look at this. Oh, Jesus Christ. When his face stretches out and his spine comes up and his shoulder blades go not up like that, and he goes, and you feel it and you go, oh God. So unbelievably realistic. How can you be unbelievably realistic? But folks, once again, look at that. I mean, look at even like that. It's coming at you. It looks 3D. I really am absolutely super impressed with that. I can't believe how good that's turned out. I can't believe that I was thinking about this and then changed to the Howling. Well, gotta hand it to you, you know. You threw me a curveball there, a very fairy curveball. But and look at all the perspiration on his face as well, and the saliva and everything. And look at those jaws. Well, they're right there as well. But that's the finished article. That's the full transformation. But that's getting there. At this point, you know, ladies and gentlemen, humanity has left the building and the beast has taken over. It's fantastic, isn't it? That is the Trick or Treats Studios mask, approved by Rick Baker, who did all the effects, as you know. And you know that I modified that. I rehowled it. I didn't just rehaul it, I rehowled it. I added a lot more blood to it. I darkened the face, and I put my husky's own fur into it as well, because he isn't just one grey colour. There's all sorts of colours going on in him. All very dark, but lots of slivers of grey and white, flecks of this and that and the other. And like with the husky fur, I've added and embellished that mask. I know you can't see it too well right there, he's got the wrong angle, but he's sitting on an empty whiskey bottle. I don't want to mess around because the whole thing will just collapse. But look at that. It's just so good. And I wonder if, let's see if we can get this so it looks like it's coming at me. No. I'd maybe like that, wouldn't I? It's not going to work. I was trying to put myself almost in the jaws. There's probably a way of doing it, but I can't think of it right now. No. Shut up, KILT-MAN, you fool. Oh, that is just so... I can't take my eyes off it. It's so extraordinarily vivid. Look at it. Now, looking on the image there on the lens, that looks like it's a scene, a still from the film, you know, a grab from the movie itself. But when you look at it, you can. When I look at it in reality, it's definitely artwork, but it's so good and so incredibly vivid. All the straggled bits of hair and everything, all the definition that you've got, and all these strands of fur, and the matting going on around here. It's so good. Steve, you've got to tell me who did the artwork for it, because you found this somewhere, and someone has turned it into art. It's not a still from the movie. It's not, you know, a frame grab. That is someone's interpretation of it, but they've done it painstakingly well. The beads of sweat and saliva. Oh dear. It's It's just so damn good. So folks, who's your favourite werewolf? Who would you least like to come up against? Because obviously you might think you stand a chance against, say, Lon Chaney as the Wolfman. You could probably outrun him. He's overweight. Not exactly the most agile of critters, but I still love him. Of course, I love him. But dog soldiers, they're too cute. I've said before, I love the fact that they're on those dancers wearing blades, so they're about 8 feet tall, and they are lean yet muscular. And they've got wicked long claws and all that. But their heads are just lassie dogs. They're just lassies, and I'm not afraid of lassie dog. I'm just not. So I'm not afraid of them. The ones in The Howling, Robert Piccardo as Eddie Quist. Holy shit! His transformation, done by Rob Bottin, who will go on to do The Thing. But Rick Baker trained Rob Bottin. Rick Baker was working on The Howling, but he'd already had a prior agreement with John Landis, waiting for John Landis' long-mooted, long-fabled, I'll get this werewolf movie off the ground, which took him 10 years to finally get the funding and get the movie off the ground, by which time Rick Baker was massively embroiled in doing The Howling. But he was training a new boy who'd shown promise on things like The Fog and Battle Beyond the Stars and other stuff. And so Rick Baker's showing him the ropes, and we're trying out these new animatronics, these new hydraulic systems to push the jaws out and extend the bodies, and all these popping latex and livid sort of animatronics and prosthetics. Yeah, okay, yeah. The phone call comes from John Landis. You promised me you were going to do my werewolf movie. Well, I'm busy at the moment. Well, what are you doing? I'm working on a film for Joe Dante. Well, what film is that? It's called The Howling. The Howling? What does that mean? Well, it's a werewolf picture. What? What is it? It's a werewolf picture? You promise you get your fucking ass over here. John Landis literally said to him, get your fucking ass over here. You're working for me. Here's the dog. Here's my own wolf has just arrived now. You might see a tail flick past in a minute. Well, you'll just hear it nibbling away at the chicken I put in the bowl. I'm surprised he didn't eat it first. So Rick Baker has to up sticks and leave, but he has shown Rob Bottin, look, this is my new trick. This is what we're going to do. We're going to push the face out. Bones are going to stretch. Fingers are going to stretch. Claws are going to grow out from the finger. All this kind of stuff, like ears are going to sprout. And Rob Bottin's going like, notice they're both RBs. Rick Baker, Rob Bottin, and they're both long-haired weirdos as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. And she said, okay, yeah, don't worry, I'll work it out. I'll be all right. Won't be as good as what you would do though. And Rick Baker scuttles off to London and David Norton and comes up with this. But The Howling beats him to the punch because it comes out first. So, although it's nowhere near as serious a movie as American Werewolf in London, they both are horror comedies. They're both blackly comic. It's completely, it's so stupid in The Howling with all the werewolf mythology and references that they make to all the previous werewolf movies. All the characters are named after previous werewolf movie directors, and they're even watching The Wolfman on TV, and you got Dick Miller in there, so it's gonna be hilarious. But American Werewolf in London with John Landis is a narkick as well. You've got Rick Mayall and Brian Glover in there, and chucked out the Mexican. You've got all this, you made me miss. But you've got blood-curdling horror as well as great American and outsiders observations, satirical observations of UK, of London and British life at the time in the early 80s. And he nails it. No British filmmaker could have come up with that. It would have seemed trite and stereotypical and just overtly crass. But an outsider's look and observations about the way we were living, about public transport, about only having 3 channels on TV and all that kind of shite, and the ridiculous tabloids that we had, the inept police, you know, the officialdom of the hospital and all that. Anyway, all that, and punks on the tubeway, you know, all this kind of stuff. He nailed it spot on. And yet, even though it's funny, it's laugh out loud funny, it's absurd, it's also blood-curdlingly horrific, genuinely frightening, and absolutely tragic as well. You've got to think of David Norton making that phone call to, and he only gets through to his little sister, and she's just like taking a piss. I just want to speak to him, and he wants to commit suicide. He knows what he's been doing, and he's got this. It's a horrible, heartbreaking conversation, but it's done in a deft, light-hearted manner. But you know what's really going on, and it's a very affecting scene. And of course, at the end, Jenny Agutter, who's fallen in love very quickly, of course, you know, as these things happen, and she runs down. It's a dead end down there. And you've got the awesome police firearms squad there with SLRs as well, the great big SLRs, fucking awesome. And they've got berets on, and the blue woolly pulleys. They look fantastic, and it's multi-cultural. There's different ethnic minorities in that firing squad, which back in the 80s, back in that day, I don't think you would have had, to be perfectly honest, in the real force. But, and then you've got she goes down and David's there. He's caused chaos, you know, at Leicester Square and Piccadilly Circus. Like, he's gone rampage from the porno cinema into the streets, causing absolute chaos and some really icky, horrible stunts. People getting thrown out the top deck windows of a double-decker bus and then landing amid a shower of glass on the road and then getting sliced over by cars. Oh, Jesus, it's just... Sorry, there's something equally scary has appeared in the doorway. I think my time might be up. And then she runs down the alleyway and he's there. David, they're going to kill you, David. And he's like, he's looking like that. He's just, David, I want to help you. David, I love you. Oh, it's Jenny Agutter. Jenny Agutter. I don't need to say any more than that. In the 80s, we had Jenny Agutter in this. You had Matilda May in Life Force. I mean, really, that enough said. And Linnea Quigley in Eternal Living Dead, and many others. She knew what to do as well. But it's really haunting, and it's very genuinely upsetting. And I love you. And those feral eyes and the snarl, it just softens slightly as the wolf actually, David's in there somewhere, actually genuinely, for a split second, recognises it, realises. It's like, and the eyes soften, and the jaws and the snarl cease, and then suddenly, just as quickly as it abated, it's back and it goes and it's about to leap at it. The SLRs rip into him, and David's killed. And now, instead of being the big snarling Kessler wolf, is just a naked David lying there, dead, riddled with bullet holes, and then you get Blue Moon, bam 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 bam, Blue Moon comes over the end of the titles, and it's all upbeat and like, but you've just had the most shockingly abrupt ending when it works. John Landis isn't the greatest film director. He's not. Many of his things I don't rate because they're satirical and anarchic and slapstick. But this, thank you, this really worked on every level: comedy, horror, tragedy, drama, satire. It's all there. And that abrupt ending actually works fabulously well because it leaves you like, well, what happens? They all come running up, and because everybody there now has to believe in werewolves. Makes you wonder how they would cover that up though, because you know the way the world works. Cryptids, alien abductions, all these things are covered up and swept under the blanket, aren't they? You know? But in the meantime, folks, look at that. Arrgh! Steve, mate, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm truly blown away by it. should have stuck to my guns, shouldn't I? Why didn't I do that? Why? I knew it was hairy, I knew it was something wolfy. But I think in the end, I plumped for something that I thought, well, you haven't seen anything from The Howling, so it's got to be that. No. It was what I thought of, pretty much first of all. It's American Werewolf. Steve, mate, thank you so much. Guys, I'm just going to have another little swig of this. I will be back later, hopefully, to unbox one. I think what I'm going to do, folks, the next video will be this one from Ronnie. And this may well be Jaws inspired, Jaws influenced, or completely just Jaws itself. Because we're both massive fans of Jaws, and the clues that he gives are very Jaws inspired. And Astrodyne, that big suitcase full of stuff there, that'll be a long one, because I know, and the weight of that, whoa, there's either something very big and heavy in there, or there's just lots and lots of things jam-packed in there. Can't wait, but we're gonna have to wait. So it'll be this one later, and then, because by the way, folks, I'm off work now for a week, over a week in fact, because I'm off tomorrow and then all next week. You know what that means, don't you? Yeah. Lots of whiskey and lots of drunken videos too. So anyway, folks, I have been always shabby KILT-MAN. So in the meantime, and this ever sort of unboxing fun in between time, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And I should just say, I am wearing the Hunting MacLeod right now. One of my favourites. And in fact, while I think on, we actually have down here the MacLeod Claymore from the Clan MacLeod from Highlander, of course. But that isn't the kilt he wears in the film Highlander. I've got that kilt, you've seen that. This is the hunting variant of it. But look at that. How awesome is that? So you've got werewolves, you've got a predator, you've got boxes aplenty, you've got whiskey, you've got great music from Ella Bernstein, and you had a little snippet from Pino Donaggio for The Howling. Look at that. So, please, I'm going to see you all. Oh, yes! And I'll do that thing that every other YouTuber seems to want to do. Please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. It ain't rocket science, and it don't cost you a penny. So, laters!